way the boardwalk comes out from nothing and is assembled is a salute to all that is done by all the employees getting the boardwalk ready.
We weren't just creating these individual rides, we were creating this entire environment. You can see the ocean in the background, the pier, some of the hills, and we wanted to emulate what they'd done with Game of Thrones.
Reoccurring theme there is that winter is coming. We're the opposite of that. It's, wow, summer is coming. This was a campaign to start the season. And we wanted something that would bring the boardwalk to a top-of-mind awareness. We wanted to do something different. Well, Game of Thrones, winter is coming. This cold, dreary time. We're the opposite of that.
Freaking great idea. We wanted to do it from the moment he said that.
And do it in a fun way.
But as we know, the Game of Thrones opening is anything but.
We wanted something that was fun, a bit mythical, a bit larger than life.
I really think they would move forward with it. I thought it was just this idea that Mark had, and I was like, there's no way this is gonna happen.
Honestly, I hate to admit it, but I'm not a huge TV watcher, nor am I a big HBO watcher, and so I didn't quite understand the power that is behind Game of Thrones.
We started out by saying, give us 10 seconds.
He had us do a proof of concept.
To see if the talent was there and the expertise was there for this. Tam does wonderful work with our with videos, with commercials. This is something completely different.
Mark had concerns, but this was just such a huge undertaking, and he was really passionate about what we were creating.
When you do a production like this, it needs to be right.
Did put a little bit of weight on my shoulders to make sure that we really got off on the right foot.
And after 10 seconds, we knew that they could do it.
As I saw the proof of concept, then I realized, it was pretty powerful. And we did show the proof of concept to a couple people who were Game of Thrones viewers at the boardwalk, and they were just, wow. So I knew Mark had something there.
I might have had the seed of the idea, but what really carried it forward was the work from everyone at Tamcom.
My role as creative director is to make sure that his vision is achieved.
Susan was more than just a creative director on this project. She really was the glue that pulled it all together, meeting the deadlines of the project, managing assets, coordination, while totally meeting the vision Mark had.
My role on this project was in the area of sound design and final color grading.
My role as art director is to go in and take a look and evaluate the project, make a determination of what kind of a visual style we want to go with.
As the 3D modeler and animator, anything that doesn't exist needs to be created in 3D. Here's shot 1, camera 1, and then we've got shot 2, where we come, this was again right out of the intro. The angle and everything about it.
I was really there to just review and give feedback, tweaking things that I felt like, I feel like we need windows here to break up the monotony of a building, or can we make the sky glider move because it felt static.
I needed to create a soundtrack that would actually do justice to the animation that Mike and Aaron had built. So I started out by going out to the boardwalk and I recorded all the rides and people having fun. But I think my biggest challenge was finding the right music, which ultimately involved combining a percussive track at the beginning, and then I blended that into the main theme.
Tam totally nailed it on the music and blending the sounds of the boardwalk together. It was really the icing on a spectacular cake.
The main theme was actually created by a British music composer by the name of Tom Player, who coincidentally enough had done a lot of work on Game of Thrones. Once I had all the music all figured out, the next step was bringing in all the different sound effects to embellish the rides as they were being built.
When you put any production together and you have an idea, it's in your brain, it's here. And the trouble is getting it out from here, getting it there, and hope they interpret what you're thinking into what it would look like.
Mike and Aaron really did run with this project. We have just so much trust in the work that they do.
I've been working with Tam directly and as a freelancer for almost 20 years.
We've been working at TAM together since I think '99. I get a lot of creative freedom through them, and they'll give me good direction and then set me free, set me loose.
We sat down with Mike and Aaron, we went out and had lunch, and we talked through the concept.
When Susan first approached us with the project, I was really excited, but then I was also a little bit nervous. Come up with something that was going to even come close to it was a little daunting.
Definitely excited to take it on. I'd wanted to do something like this, and so I did see it as a great challenge. A little bit of intimidation. I knew what would be involved.
They were thinking about this non-stop. Or dreaming about it. They'd wake up in the morning, they were thinking about it. They'd go to bed thinking about it. They were working on it just constantly.
Really consumed me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. You'd go to sleep at night thinking about what you did that day and excited about tackling the next chunk of it the next day. Couldn't wait to output a test render to get feedback from Tam and Susan and Mike.
The style of the animation is very unique, definitely a little beyond something that we've tried to do before in the past.
I love it. I love it when the Giant Dipper sign goes over and builds in. I love it when the palm trees come up. I love it when they build the pirate ship and it went perfectly to the music, and then the ending is just so powerful.
And looking at it, the only thing I can compare it to is if you remember when you were a child and you know what you really want for your birthday. You open up the presents and they're good, but it's not really what you wanted. We opened up the presents and I look there and I go, they got me a pony.